This is Chapter 7 of Conquest, a route map in which you need to deal with a horde of faceless within the woods of the forlorn. The faceless are very generic enemies, usually only coming with Poison Strike, although some have Grizzly Wound, the boss has Very Fighter and Savage Blow, and to the north there's a pair up of two faceless who both have Seal Speed. So the faceless are rather easy to deal with the sole exception of the boss and the aforementioned pair up due to Seal Speed and their speed stat of 11 making them hard to double. And also and the pair up and they have increased bulk due to the pair up. In order to better deal with this, I've got some strategies in mind. Corrin's taken a health tonic to make sure that their half health, but their 50% threshold is 13 instead of just 10, and they will be holding the Dragon Stone for most of the map. And Felicia has taken a strength tonic in order to deal better damage. Let me just default equip the Dragon Stone and then we'll get into it. Corrin's going to start by moving into the range of this faceless, and Felicia will follow shortly behind him. Some chip is dealt by Corrin and Felicia, and some damage dealt by Corrin and Felicia, and Corrin will bring down from Poison Strike. Going to fight this faceless and take no damage from either of them, and Felicia and Corrin will finish off this faceless. It's likely that the second phase is likely that the faceless who have to like all of to attack Felicia, and being able to actually deal damage to her, but it doesn't matter since dies in the enemy phase. So more faceless move in. And Silas and Elise run on this turn. The reason I gave Corrin the health tonic in order to, and specifically mentioned the half health threshold, is because of Silas's personal skill, Vow of Friendship. 3+ damage dealt and 3- damage taken and -3 damage taken is a really good skill to have, greatly increasing his offense and defense, with the low price of your Corrin's health being lowered, with the small price of having to bring Corrin down to half health. This not only does this really help Silas just in general, but he can also be trained more easily thanks to it. Regardless of that, I have Felicia and Corrin power up, and they move over here, and Silas will stand here with a bronze lance, and Elise will just move over here. Silas will be doing the enemy face tanking here, with Felicia dealing some actual chips. Silas took a substantial amount of damage, but it doesn't really matter that much.
It's team up time!
Alpha and Effie have joined this turn, being mostly units that you can use to just help you with your strategy, but being much needed backup, but they don't really have that much. But there's not really much to talk about them. Alpha does start with a hand axe though, which is pretty useful. Silas is going to finish this off, and Lisa's going to heal Felicia. tanking, but, and Corrin gets, you know, some more faces are moving in. And Corrin is now only at 16 HP, but it doesn't really matter that. Corrin is now only at 16 HP. In red. Feature will kill this faceless and gain herself a level. and Silas is gonna help Corrin on this. Here, over here. Arthur's going to, and Arthur will miss the attack. And this is gonna heal Silas. Thanks to this Faceless's poison strike, Corrin is now at under half his HP, which has activated Silas's personal skill. This allows Silas and Felicia to easily deal with this Faceless. Corrin is going to deal with this Faceless, and I'll purposefully take Corrin out of Vow of Friendship range for one specific reason, that being that we'll have to deal with these two. And then finally for this turn we'll have Arthur and Effie deal with these two Faceless. And every kill without the crit, but it's nice to have. And Corrin will just do some of this. Will deal with the first Faceless who is paired up, and Silas will stand here in order to. And Silas will stand here. At least we won't do much for this time, but Corrin and Felicia can very easily just deal with this Faceless. If it looks like I'm doing a lot of enemy face tanking in this chapter, it's because I am. This chapter can definitely. This chapter, you have few player units and a lot of enemies to deal with. So enemy face tanking is very useful for this chapter. And Corrin is back at 13 HP, which has reactivated Vow of Friendship. And Effie and Arthur and Silas will deal with these Faceless to the north, to the south. And Corrin and Felicia will of course deal with the Faceless up here.
This is my chance.
Corrin has reached level 10, giving back access to Dragon Fang and promotion items. This is rather useful, but this access to promotion is rather useful on paper, but it likely won't be used during this series, as Corrin isn't really. While Corrin can be early promoted, it doesn't really have the best use. He doesn't really have the best use cases for it, unless due to the fact that Silas and Arthur do have units of the same class who join later down the line. one of them could, and as well as their own children, they could be, they are also very usable. Silas and Arthur, due to their units of the same class that join later, and their own children, can easily be replaced, and as such, they are usually one of the two who you would prefer to use their early Master Seal on. Anyways, Felicia is just going to stand here next to Corrin and dual strike with him to deal damage to the Faceless. More Faceless are moving in, and the boss has begun to move. Felicia will deal with this Faceless and get to level 5. I think Arthur will power up in order to save Effie from dual strikes, as she will be tanking the boss Faceless, as well as likely this Faceless as well, very likely. Both Faceless here, but Effie and Arthur will be paired up in order to tank both of these both the regular Faceless to the south and the boss Faceless. And Corrin will drink their voluntary in order to get them more ready for the final battles of this chapter. It's okay though, as Corrin will be brought back down to the threshold of Vow of Friendship by this combat. Effie and Arthur fight this. And now for the last turn of this chapter. Felicia will kill this the first Faceless, with her dagger, and meanwhile, Effie and Arthur will trade places. Corrin will kill the first Faceless with generic Faceless with Beato. And then Felicia, and then Silas will do some chip with the Bronze Lance. And Silas will do some chip to the Faceless with Bronze Lance. Which is the only weapon I've used on Silas for this chapter, due to the fact that he starts with E-Lancers, which I'm trying to get him out of during this series. And to cap off the chapter, Effie will kill the boss. Quite a few units have gotten levels this chapter, as the primary purpose of the chapter is, of course, to introduce you to your early game squad and potentially get you some levels on them. Regardless of that, this strategy has taken us 10 turns to complete the level through a lot of enemy face tanking. Stage complete.